Are you the C-suites? By the way, I always read it as C-suit before. Don't laugh. This word is still very new to me. But if you are the C-suites in the logistics industry, this message is for you, my friend. Are you right now working in a job that you hate? You don't feel there's passion, joy anymore. Even if you do, you feel like, I don't know, something's missing. I don't feel the motivation. Even though I love what I do, but something's just missing. And I have been talking to so many C-suites from big, medium, or small organizations. And the problem about them is here are the struggles that they are facing. Well, they are facing a problem that they feel that there's a bigger thing that they can do. There's so much more talent and capabilities that they can show, but there's no platform, no stage for them to show further. And they feel like the powerless feeling that they know they can be a CEO, they can be the in charge, but they just don't dare to move that step. And don't get me wrong, I'm not here to tease you or let you down. I was there before. Before I stepped into my entrepreneurial career, become the CEO myself, I was always working for someone, and I was sometimes the left hand or right hand to the CEO and organization top level guys. And sometimes I was really happy because I made an impact. I could really help them to make a difference. But sometimes I don't feel like it when they make these unwise choices. I feel like, oh, I wish if I was him, I would do the right thing. If that's familiar to you, my friend, you are not alone. There are so many of you or me outside there. And here's the thing, I wanted you to change your perspective. Imagine when you say, well, I just want to support my family. I just want to get day-to-day paid job so that I can move on. I can be the breadwinner. I can be the man, be the husband, be the whatever you are, like a father or someone who's supporting someone in real life. I get it. For me, I never want to get rid of my income because I need to support my family. I was born in a family who wasn't wealthy at all, and I always had to carry those, you can call it burden or happy burden, carry those responsibilities on my shoulder. But my friend, let's imagine this. If you are doing something that you really hate, a job that you really hate, yes, you get paid by money, but why you doing what you do is because you will say, I do it because I want to do it for my family. But the truth is, if you are struggling what you do right there, you are actually bringing the opposite side, the negative side to your family, because not just you who are suffering. When you are suffering, your family will be the one who's going to suffer together. You will say, no, I won't share with them, I'll be fine, like I'll just carry all into myself and it's another new day, I'll just move on. No, you can't do that. That's called selfishness. Yes, you're selfish if you do that, because if you're not feeling 100%, if you're not really enjoying the thing, I'm not saying if you don't like something, you don't do it. You still have to stick to the job if you haven't find out what your purpose and where you want to be. I'm more focusing on this point, my friend, that you know where you're heading to. You know your dreams. You always know where you want to be, but you just don't dare to do that. And that's what I'm talking about. And if you're not doing that, what will happen is your family will be suffering with you, and you think that's called proud or that's called selfless, but that is selfish because you don't even give an opportunity to try to do something different, that so you can be so much happier, you can be so much fulfilled, and you can get rid of a mental health problem, and you can also be more authentic and bold to serve your family and to enjoy the rest of your life with your family. And the other problem, you might be thinking, well, I have nothing or not enough. If I started my journey, if I start a company, too risky, too risky. But do you know, risky or risk has another similar name and a twin brother, and its name is opportunity. If there's no risk, there's no opportunity. If you want opportunity, you need to take the risk. They are equally important. Do you know? So many billionaires started from below zero. If you have more than zero, how big that risk will be? But this is the funny part, my friend. As humans, the more you have, the more afraid you're gonna be, because you're worried that for someone who got zero, what else they can lose? Nothing. But for you who get thousands, millions, whatever the money you've got right now, you're just so worried. What if I lose them all? And let me ask you, if you can start from nothing or below nothing to something today, why are you afraid to start it again and restart it? If you ask questions to all the billionaires in the world, it's not about how much money they have. It's about how much knowledge, how much confidence and faith that they carry within them. That's exactly why they are more wealthy than many people. And they are all related. If you want to be more wealthy, you have to start from your inner self, not outside of you. And that's why Think and Grow Rich. This book is one of my favorites. If you don't think, you can't grow rich. If you don't think rich, you can't grow rich. And if you think rich, you can grow rich. And they are related. Next thing I want to remind you, my friend, money is not here to enslave you. It is here to empower you. You can earn endless money. But money is not a destination. It's not something, an object, a shining object that you need to chase because it's meaningless. There will be so much money outside there. How much can you chase? It's just a tool that you can use to make your life better, to make others' life better, and to help you, to equip you. And it's a tool to help you to make a difference in this world. And it will also be very helpful to measure how much efforts you've made and if you're doing the right thing and so on and so forth. Money is a great thing to have, but don't make money as your final goal to chase. And that's when you get lost. And that's when you're scared because I don't want to lose money. I don't want to spend any money. I don't want take any risk on spending money or things like that. That's exactly why you're still where you are. And if you wanted to break through that, this is only one way you have to break through first. If you don't break through this, everything else is meaningless. Everything else doesn't matter. If those are you, my friend, then the solutions will be number one, you need to ask yourself, what do you want and why do you want it? It sounds very simple, but let me tell you, we human beings spend the whole life in self-discovery. And I can tell you that you will also need to spend time to ask yourself, why? Because when you ask yourself these questions, the first instinct will be like, what if I say this, it will be wrong? What if I do that, it will make me broke? There are so many things. What if will come in through to block your sight, so you don't really know what you want and why do you want it. That takes a lot of time, energy, courage, and to be so bold to yourself and to embrace your desire, embrace who you truly are so that you can go for the direction that you always want to be. Whether you want to be an artist, whether you want to be an entrepreneur that you always think or dream of, whether you want to do something that you always want to do, my friend. But if you don't do that, all you're doing is just to lie to yourself. We're very good at lying. Like, I don't know why, but we human beings are so good at lying. It's not just lying to others, it's more about lying to ourselves. Every day when we want to feel better, we just make up stuff to make ourselves feel so good. Which is why when things go wrong, the first thing we want to do is blame others, someone around us. Because that's the easiest way. If we need to take fully responsibilities, when we need to take full ownership, that's the hard part. The ownership is the hard part, my friend. It's much easier to point fingers, right? But that's why we need to do the right thing, the hard thing, rather than the easy thing, which is the wrong thing. And I talked about the second point, which is take full ownership, take full responsibilities in every choice you make, every decision you made, and everything you do. But because when you do that, my friend, you are only going to be better. There's no way you're going to be worse. And you will find out there's so much potential you can dig out when you take full responsibilities. But when you start pointing fingers, that's exactly why you will never be matured or you'll never be mature enough. So let's take full responsibilities and dare to take ownership. I don't want to share this, but I have to because these are the things people speak the most. When you become an entrepreneur, you know what happened is, well, what's the worst case scenario? Like when I start my company, before I started, I was struggling. It's a battle inside of me. I was scared, I was excited, I was nervous, but I was excited, right? It's a mixed emotions. But there's one thing I was saying to myself, what would be the worst? If I do it, if I fail, which I know there will be failure along the way, but I know also if I don't give up, I will get there. So what if I do this? And the worst scenario, I might just work for someone. I'm so capable working for someone. But you know what? There's so many CEOs still thinking like this. And let me tell you, this is really silly. Why? Because if you can work for someone and solve problems, that means you're also capable to run your own thing. Yes, you're good at doing something doesn't mean you're good at being an entrepreneur because it's completely a different thing. That means someone who's good at being an entrepreneur doesn't mean that person can do all the mastery stuff, what the others are doing. But what I'm trying to say here is if you are valuable enough, if you have courage, you can do this. And the worst scenario is what would be the worst? You can just still create value and do something else. That's the worst scenario. But the regret that you will have if you never tried, if you never have done this, you will regret before you close your eyes. The last breath that you've taken, you'll be like, I wish I've done that. You don't want any regrets. And how about failure? We all say that failure is okay, failure is part of success. We say that, but when we do that, we don't feel we wanted to even face the failure. It's scary, it makes us look bad, and it's gonna kill our ego. But let me tell you, my friend, failure is the best teacher of success. If you don't want a failure, that means you don't want a success. If right now you don't feel that you're successful enough, it's because you don't have enough failures enough. Thomas Edison 999 times experiment until he discovered and got the successful light bulb. And I can list so many of them. Henry Forbes, many years, thousands of times trying because he wanted to make sure there will be wheels on the ground. Nobody think that's possible. And he made it. There are so many stories, my friend. But if they are so afraid of failure, that's why they will never reach to their goals. And the difference between a successful person and not unsuccessful person is exactly the failure. Because successful person will say, this is my stepping stone to my success. And the unsuccessful person was so afraid of it, and you don't even step on top of that, and you just escape and just go to explore all the other ways around, but you don't remember that that's the only way to success. So look at the failure in front of you and embrace it. Embrace it so badly that there's nothing can stop you. And let me tell you, when you do that, my friend, you will be unstoppable. Share with me with your stories. I'm so excited to hear that. I know you get what I'm saying. And it's not just about talking about it. My journey is also a story to show what I'm sharing here. They are true. And if you want to know more about my story, subscribe to the channel, share this with more people, and I will be producing more contents like this. And follow me on social media, so I always post things like who I am with my family. I'm just an ordinary person like you, of course, extraordinary person as well, because I believe I'd rather live an extraordinary life than an ordinary life. So my friend, thank you so much for coming here, and I can't wait to see you on the next session. See you, bye.